Make the mundane magical with starlight witch.
What's up, witches? It's Starlight out in the afternoon, and today's video is going to be a continuation of my face series, which is an ongoing thing on this channel. And this one is going to be covering the Will of the Wisps, or Will'O Wisps, or however I decide to write it in the title. So, as usual, trusty journal, and let's get started, shall we? We shall. It's great. We should start now before this gets awkward. Yeah, I completely agree with you, Train. Will'O Wisps, or Will of the Wisps, as they are. They are known by many, many names, but we'll cover that in a bit. The Fae being known as the Will of the Wisp is one of the most enigmatic of the fairy folk. It manifests as a dim light appearing near the ground at twilight, or sunset. About the hour of sunset, there you go. It appears to lead people, often travellers, towards a destination, moving with them when they walk and stopping when they stop. The Will of the Wisp is unpredictable and can lead people astray, but according to other stories, it can also lead travellers to fortune or to their fate. The Will of the Wisp is known all over Europe by a variety of names, including but not limited to Hertfordshire and East Anglia's the Hobby Lantern, Lancashire's Pega Lantern, Cornwall and Somerset's Joan the Wad, I believe that says. Yeah, Joan the Wad. East Anglia's the Lantern Man, Somerset and Devon's Hinky Punk, Shropshire's Will the Smith, Worcestershire's Pinkett, the West Country's Jackie Lantern or Jack-o'-lantern, Lowland Scotland's Spunkies, Spunkies. Wales is Púcar and Elidan, however you say that, it will be on the screen, and I know for a fact that I've just butchered that, so sorry. Northumberland's Jenny with the Lantern, Norfolk's Will of the Wipes, Warwickshire and Gloucestershire's Hobbity's Lantern, and the Jenny with the Lantern is from North Yorkshire as well. Others include Corpse Candles and Ignis Fatuus, Latin for foolish fire. Ignis Fatuus, not Corpse Candle. That sounds so badass though, doesn't it? Corpse Candle. Japan's Hitodama, Russia's Ruskali, another one from Japan is Kitsunebi, because they were thought to be the lights of the kitsune foxes, the spirits. Sweden's Erblos, Finland's Liekio, and Scandinavia's that's going to be on the screen. I'm going to try, but Likitgub? Probably not. It's on the screen. And many others. According to folklore, the Will of the Wisp is primarily a trickster that delights in leading travellers at night into dangerous ground such as bogs or marshes. When Will of the Wisps appear in a graveyard, it is believed to predict death. Robin Goodfellow, or the Hobgoblin, also known as Puck, could act as a Will of the Wisp when he chose, specifically in order to trick and mislead travellers. Others have said that these fairies can help humans as well as hurt them, like the wisps in Disney's Brave. Obviously Disney isn't like something to live your life from, but in this case it works. Scholars suggest that the Jack-o'-lantern, so much in evidence at Samhain, is based on the Will of the Wisp's ability to protect against evil spirits that mislead travellers. Scientists have long claimed that the Will of the Wisp's phenomena is caused by bioluminescent mushrooms or by the igniting of swamp gas. According to the swamp gas theory, gases such as methane and phosphine, which are produced by rotting marshland vegetation, spontaneously combust, usually in contact with oxygen or creating a flame. However, when recreated, geologists were unable to reproduce Will-O-Wisp-esque flame, nor could they discover any source of natural ignition. This theory also fails to explain the interactive nature of this fairy, the reports of it soaring and swooping, moving against the wind, or the fact that many sightings aren't in or around marshes. And of course, the bioluminescent mushroom theory is like kind of the same with the movement and interactivity, but it would make sense if it was in a forest. The most general explanation of the Will-O-Wisp is that they are malevolent spirits, either of the dead or of non-human intelligence. But as we have established, Will-O-Wisps can be both seelie and unseelie. And I will be doing a video on that. Maybe I've already uploaded it, I'm not quite sure. But there will be a video on that at some point, on the courts of the Fae. According to legend,
yes. I'm clearly not awake.
According to legend, the origin of the Will-O-Wisp, the Phantom Lights, started with a mischievous blacksmith who caused all kinds of trouble during his lifetime. When he died and met St. Peter at the pearly gates, the saint told Will that he wasn't worthy of gaining entry into heaven. He sent Will back to Earth to prove himself in a second life, but Will made even more of a mess of the second time round. St. Peter banned him from the afterlife permanently, leaving Will to roam the earth with no place to go. The devil took pity on him and offered him a piece of burning brimstone to keep himself warm. But Will used it instead to lure people to their doom. Delightful guy. Will-O-Wisps are not just beacons of doom though. More than just bizarre lights that lead people astray, their appearance also predicted the future. Seeing Will-O-Wisp could be an omen of death, sure, but some say the wisps appear to show people their intended path in life. They could also reveal a spot where a fairy or leprechaun had buried some treasure. Go a digging, but not at night and not alone, because that's how horror stories start. Obviously not just a British phenomenon, stories and legends worldwide connect them to the spirits of lost souls who are trapped between heaven and hell. The Erbloss, for example, from Sweden, I think, are the souls of unbaptized children. The lights tricking people to going into the water where they can be baptized. The Alea of Asia are strange lights that haunt the spot where a person died. South American Luz Mala are spirits of the dead who carry phantom lights. Louisiana's Creole tradition has Fifole, illuminated souls of people who have been sent back to Earth to atone for their wicked ways. As previously mentioned, Will-O-Wisp can be both seelie and unseelie, but it depends on your energy as to which ones you can attract, and also where you are in the world and just what kind of space you're in, pretty much. Their element is light. Their crystals that can attract them are aventurine, hematite quartz, smoky quartz, selenite. Their season is winter and spring. Tarot suit is swords. Colours are blue and green and white and red. Offerings to give them honey or treacle, or, I can't remember the word for it. Maple syrup, there you go. Flowers, mushrooms, painted pebbles and sticks, or just general sugar, basically. So that's the information portion, as we do on this channel. So have I ever seen a Will-O-Wisp? I don't think I have, because I don't tend to go into the woods alone at night, or across marshes, or bogs or anything at night, or at all really. I thought I saw some when I went to my local woods. It was me and my mum, and we went kind of a little bit later in the evening than we should have, but we needed to get the dog for a walk, so we ended up going for a walk, and it was kind of dusk time, which is obviously peak time to see fairies anyway, and I thought I saw because there's the main path track thing, and just after that to the side is the actual some more wooded area, and I thought I saw just a few flickering blue lights leading into that area, but I didn't follow them because I was with my mum and we were on a walk with the dog, and depending on where you are and what kind of energy you have, may or may not be wise to follow the lights, because like I said, they could be seelie, they could be leading you to where you need to go, but they could be very, very unseelie and try to kill you. So there is actually a story that I didn't write down, and I think it was a story of a traveller who followed the lights, didn't have very good energy, and he followed the Will'O Wisps, assuming that they would lead him to where he needed to go, and they took him to a very, 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 very deep chasm and like kind of almost made him jump off it. So they can be bad, but they can also be good, like in Brave, for example, where they like take you to your destiny, as it were. So yeah, that's what I have for you on Will'O the Wisps. So I suppose that wraps up this video, doesn't it? So as usual, be unapologetically you, no shame, and I will see you in the next one.